This virus is currently hacking 3,000 Minecraft players a day and over 100,000 people just this year alone, because essentially someone built a hacking business specifically designed to target Minecraft players, and they turned it into a $5 a month subscription service. And this is just loaded with, premium tiers, paid upgrades, a feature request board, and even a group chat where I guess they share webcam footage of the people they've hacked. Saying this is alarming is a massive understatement, considering, Minecraft has a bunch of kids playing it, and now you have people paying essentially $5 a month to illegally watch someone who downloaded a Minecraft mod through their webcam without permission. It's safe to say that this is a massive sign to get one of those webcam covers, because this is just beyond creepy. But apparently, this is all called weed hack, and by the time researchers went public with their findings in June of this year, it had already logged 116,000 victims since January. So this is getting somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 new victims every day and is currently growing because of its popularity. But apparently, weed hack didn't come out of nowhere. It's actually the latest chapter in a pretty long story of people figuring out that Minecraft players are an unusually easy target for hackers, because, the game has a massive modding community and mod scene built around it, where essentially you download files from strangers on the internet, which, to be fair, is basically how modding works, but also you're not supposed to get hacked on the process of doing so. And I mean, this is just so sad to see, because I feel like so many people who grew up playing video games online ended up modding games, because it's pretty much encouraged for a lot of games. I remember playing a whole bunch of Gary's mod back in the day, and playing bone stock Gary's mod's not too fun. I remember modding Counter-Strike Source to play Jailbreak. I remember modding Minecraft a whole bunch, modding Terraria. The list goes on. But obviously in the modding community, you have this trust that's built up where you download files on the internet, which are mods for your game. And unfortunately, people are now abusing this trust. Obviously, this has been happening for a long time, but apparently it's getting out of hand. But real quick, we did it, guys. After a very long grind, we finally got our own GamerSupps cup. So if you don't know, GamerSupps makes the best sugar-free lemonade on the market. I keep raving about it, and I will continue to rave about it because it is genuinely the best sugar-free lemonade I've ever had. And they also have a whole bunch of other flavors with and without caffeine as well. But Gloom, who's our main designer from Mad City, and I mean, we just went all out on design because we just wanted to make one of the more unique shaker cup designs out there, and they're available for a limited time only. And honestly, if enough of you guys actually buy one, we'll get our own flavor. I either want to call it like Memory Lane Melon or Nostalgic Melon. So if you guys do want to help make that flavor an actual reality and get the Atozy channel its own flavor on GamerSupps, feel free to pick one up. And you can do so by clicking the link in the top of the description down below and buying a nice little GamerSupps shaker cup. And with the shaker cup, you'll also be getting a whole bunch of free samples. So if it's your first time trying GamerSupps, or if you just want to try out some new flavors, you can do so by getting this cup. But other than that, let's continue the video. But apparently the first time the Minecraft community had to deal with some serious malware that went viral was on June 2023. And this is when a virus called Fracturizer started spreading through some of the most trusted corners of the game's modding scene. But what made this a lot more alarming was where it was coming from, because it wasn't some shady third-party website or random Discord links where I guess you could expect it to happen. But no, these were coming from CurseForge and Bucket Dev, which at the time was basically the gold standard places for downloading Minecraft mods. And if you're a mod developer, those are the places that you would go to host your stuff. But I guess what happened was that attackers had gotten into the popular dev accounts on these platforms through phishing, credit card theft, and whatever methods that they could do to get into them. So once they got into a trusted mod developer account, they then started posting viruses. And how did they do that? Well, they started pushing infected updates to legitimate mods that already existed. And this means that the bad files essentially got spread to a huge number of players who had absolutely no reason to think anything was wrong. So once someone launched Minecraft with the infected mod, Fracturizer got to work, and I guess it would search through the system and inject itself into every other jar file that it could find. So essentially it was spreading itself through your own mod folder. And I guess to break this down, pretty much every Minecraft mod runs as a .jar file, which is the extension of Java programs, and Minecraft itself is built in Java. So that's why a virus that infects .jar files can spread across the entire game and every mod connected to it. And the real deal here is that the virus went after credentials: Microsoft, Xbox Live logins, Discord accounts, Minecraft session data, and anything related to crypto wallets. But eventually things did get under control. The infected mods were taken down, and people started making their own detection tools to help people detect if these viruses were actually on their computer. And then of course, course, these massive mod platforms tightened their security even more. But I feel like the big eye-opener here was that players thought they were safer than what they were. And it's safe to say the modding community was much easier to take advantage of than anyone had actually realized. And unfortunately, the people who really paid attention to that were not really the good guys. So by 2024, researchers were already noticing a growing trend of attackers abusing GitHub's own reputation systems, fake stars, fake engagement, and other methods used to make harmful projects appear trustworthy. It wasn't exclusive to just Minecraft yet, but the groundwork was being laid. Then, in early 2025, a cybercriminal group that security researchers ended up calling Stargazer's Ghost Network, they started targeting Minecraft players. And again, they did so in a real evolution of what the Fracturizer already did. I guess the problem with the first group's approach from an attacker's perspective was that it required compromising existing dev accounts, which I guess is noisy and also creates a trail. The Stargazers group, they skipped that entirely and just built their own fake mod pages from scratch, specifically on GitHub, where a lot of developers and some players were already looking for tools. And here they created hundreds of fake pages pretending to be popular Minecraft cheat clients and mods, which essentially is the kind of stuff a player might actually search for if they wanted an advantage in the game or just wanted to customize their setup. And then to make these custom pages look even more legit, they used a network of around 70 fake accounts that would go around liking, following, and interacting with these people. And unfortunately on GitHub, that alone can make a project look popular and or trustworthy, even though it's clearly not. So that was essentially the whole idea here. But the malware itself worked in stages. The first one grabbed Minecraft account tokens and session data, along with login information from Discord and Telegram. And I guess once that was done, a second payload came down, a more advanced info stealer that went after browser passwords, VPN data, cryptocurrency wallets, and files from regular desktop folders. And by June of 2025, when researchers published their findings, the campaign had already infected around 1,500 people, and it was estimated to be generated somewhere around $8,000 a month for whoever was running it. But I guess what changed between Fracturizer and Stargazers was the approach. While the first group hacked trusted mods, Stargazers essentially built fake trusted mods. And the results, however, were pretty same, because players just ended up downloading a whole bunch of malware they believed was actually safe. But the operation behind the second one was much more organized and easier to expand and harder to shut down, because it was just harder to find out where it's all from. So now you have Weed Hack, which is what happens when you take everything the previous campaign showed and turn it into an actual business. So McAfee researchers identified it starting in January of 2026. And what they found wasn't just a new piece of malware. No, it was actually a malware as a service platform, which is essentially a monthly subscription model applied to cybercrime, which means that the people using it to infect players weren't necessarily the same people who built and maintained it. I guess it could just be anyone who signed up, picked their plan, and got access to the tools with no advanced tech background required. So before, you had to be very technical and evil to be able to do stuff to people. So this is a massive problem, because before, there was actually a skill barrier to being an extremely malicious person and, hacking people. Now, all you have to do is pay for a subscription, and now you can have access to their webcams and so on, because I guess the hacker groups just realized they can sell their skills, or they can sell hacking access, essentially. And apparently it's so easy, the only barrier to entry was a Discord account and a few premium features, which are $5 a month. And apparently the free tier could steal saved passwords in multiple websites, pull Discord and Steam login information, and grab crypto wallet data and pull your Minecraft account. I mean, again, to say this is alarming is a massive understatement. And apparently all of that was for free. So some people really just want to see the world burn, but the paid version went even further. So $5 a month unlocked live webcam access, screen sharing with mouse and keyboard control, and the ability to see everything the victim typed, run commands on their computer remotely, and upload or download files straight from the victim's computer. And I guess to put the whole thing in perspective, similar tools on the dark web typically run between $250 and $500 a month, and it requires you to actually know where to look. Weed Hack, however, was just a public Telegram channel with over 850 members. And when I first saw it, I was like, come on, there's no way they're calling it Weed Hack because of, 420, haha, funny MLG meme. But no, apparently it's just a metaphor for how this virus spreads. It just spreads like a weed. But the way this one spread was even more elaborate than the previous campaigns, because the hackers used YouTube tutorials and fake websites to target clients like Meteor and Liquid Bounce, and worst, taking advantage of the fact that these are cheat clients. So players often aren't really sure where the official download is because sometimes even the official websites feel shady. I do know what a massive problem is. So actually a lot of these links are coming from YouTube tutorials, but I feel like back when I was downloading mods, we had this massive advantage the current modding scene doesn't have, because we watched YouTube tutorials. And back in the day, we had something called the dislike bar. If it was a bad mod, the modding video would have like 700 dislikes and like 10 likes. It would be very obvious that you wouldn't want to download that. Now, dislikes are hidden for whatever reason. I wish they weren't, because I feel like just being more open and honest about content is good. And this is a prime example for why dislikes should be there. The community should be able to warn each other of bad content. So apparently the way all of this works is once it's downloaded, the malware ran silently through 4 stages. So first it connects to a command sender that's hidden inside of the Ethereum blockchain to make it harder to take down. And then it disables Windows Defender and it makes sure that it can keep running after a restart. But only after those steps, it actually starts the actual data collection. So by June 2026, when McAfee published their findings, the total infection count was sitting at 116,464, which is a whole lot of people, especially where it was only like 1,500 last year. And currently it looks like the US has the highest number of victims, followed by Germany, India, the UK, Italy, Vietnam, Canada, then Norway, Sweden, Finland, and then Spain finally. And to make things even worse, there's apparently also a feature request board where users had voted for a jump scare functionality and a ransomware support as top additions. Okay, let's be real. The jump scare request is just straight up pathetic. I mean, the fact that people would actually pay money to just harass people digitally is sad. But now, all these campaigns I mentioned earlier, Fracture Geyser, Stargazers, Weed Hack, they were all broad operations. They cast essentially like a wide net and infected whoever happened to download the wrong file in the wrong place. But there's a different threat that's been running alongside of this for years. And this one doesn't really get its own name or press release because it's not a single operation. It's more of a technique. And the setup tends to go something like this. You meet someone online, someone joins a Minecraft server, a Discord or whatever community you're in, you guys talk, you play with them for a few weeks, and they build what feels like a real friendship. And at one point, they send over a mod or a client or a resource pack framed as something cool they found, or something they made themselves, or maybe a private tool that they're sharing with other people they trust. And the victim downloads it because it came from a friend, or at least someone they believed was a friend. And that's the whole attack. No fake GitHub page with a bunch of stars, no YouTube tutorial, just a file from someone you know. But unfortunately, this just works very well in the gaming space because it's not like sharing mods is extremely uncommon, especially with PC gaming. And this also indirectly makes it easy for this malware to spread through friend groups, not just through anonymous download sites. And unlike Fracturizer, which had a name and a public incident response, or Weed Hack, which got a McAfee report and media coverage, the friendship angle rarely surfaces publicly. And a lot of victims probably don't even realize they're actually victims here. Now, what do you even do if you even become a victim, or better yet, how do you avoid being one in the first place? Well, the advice is pretty much the same for everyone. For Minecraft specifically, stick to trusted sources. I can't sit here and endorse anyone or anything really. The only thing I can actually endorse is the official Minecraft website, but you do know the trusted sources if you do a little bit of digging. But absolutely be skeptical about downloading any links from YouTube videos or random GitHub pages or files shared directly through group chats. And I know the whole don't trust your friends isn't like the best answer here, because obviously if you've known people for years on years and you know they're not going to give you something that's bad, but you're taking a risk. I don't know. Regardless, approach it all with a pinch of salt. And if you do end up running something bad on your computer, disconnect it from the internet, change your passwords from another device, and scan the system. And then of course, if things are really bad, you can just reinstall Windows or get a new SSD. But in the end, the Weed Hack Telegram channel was taken down after McAfee published their findings, but the campaign itself hasn't stopped. The hackers kept replacing websites as they got flagged, and the whole operation was designed to keep going, even when parts of it were taken down anyway. But for those of you guys who actually have kids who play Minecraft or play Minecraft yourself, this isn't really a reason to stop playing Minecraft or using mods. Obviously, you just have to be way more careful because these scams have gotten a lot easier to run, harder to spot, and it's safe to say that they're not going away anytime soon. Again, this is a little bit of a different video than I normally make, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it because it's a viral thing that's happening. It's shocking and crazy that it's even happening. I feel like it's a decent PSA. So hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.